Radical.
Well. Color me surprised, absolutely shocked that a man, not a man, Khelif, won boxing gold at the Paris Olympics. In the supposed women's division, won the gold medal. So, I feel bad. I feel sorry for the females that are in this path of this fella here that plowed through him on his way to a gold medal. I feel bad for him because I don't think women's Olympic sports will ever be the same again. Imagine, put yourself in the situation of the female. I forget her name at the moment. Lou something. The female that he actually fought and won the gold medal off of. She was, I think, champion last year in 2023, I believe. My apologies, I don't have all the single stats. This is basically just going to be a commentary on what I do know. So my apologies there for not having all the details about the boxers. I didn't even see the full fight. But I'll tell you the things I do know in this commentary. I know, like I said, I feel sad for the future of women's sports all across the board. Because you got to worry now about the people that will basically try their hardest to work trans people, trans men into female sports. But this is not exactly that instance. This is a bit of a confusing instance to where, believe it or not, Imane Khelif, that looks like a man, to me, looks like he might be able to take on Mike Tyson, doesn't have one feminine single feature in that frame, not even in the face, doesn't even look female in the face. Believe it or not, that's technically a woman. Technically a woman. Although I've heard rumors that this person during training wears a plastic cup down there. You know, not that I've seen any pictures online of the actual junk. It'd be interesting to see that downstairs mix-up. You know where I got that from? Downstairs mix-up. Any of you ever seen The Mighty Boosh? I'm old Greg. Such a funny freaking show. So basically, Imane Khelif got to have some kind of a downstairs mix-up. Maybe it's a hermaphrodite. I mean, I don't want to see pictures. But to actually give you an accurate description of everything, I would have to see pictures of what's going on down there. But I really don't need that to give you my assessment of all this. Number one, like I said, it is a sad moment for women's sports right now pertaining to the Olympics because you're going to have more and more instances of these males that are coming into Olympic sports and basically beating up on the females. In boxing, it's literal. These men are beating up on these women. But you might say, Rick, you mentioned before that technically it's a woman. Gets a little confusing for some of you. To me, I'm not confused. But let's basically go into what's happening here. Imane Khelif is not a transgender. Imane Khelif was basically born a technical person with female parts. As weird as it, the birth certificate says female supposedly. And I know in Algeria, there's no such thing as transgendered in Algeria. You're either man or woman. There's a rare condition, a fraction of a percentage of people get sometimes where, like I said, you become like a downstairs mix-up. And if you have testes, they're on the inside. What it really comes down to is not what all's down there, whether it's an innie or an outie or whatnot, because I don't know what it looks like down there. All I can say is birth certificate says female, supposedly. I can tell you that the IBA refused Imane Khelif to box previously because of the testing. The IBA has come out and basically said, yeah, that's a man. That's a man, baby. Yeah, that's a man. Because of X and Y. A lot of you might not know about chromosomes, but basically, essentially, if you have double X chromosomes, that means you are a female with female characteristics. If you are XY, that means you're a male. That involves a lot of testosterone and the development. You might wonder why Imane Khelif looks exactly like a man. Now, situation, it looks exactly like a man. It's because the body was formed with the XY chromosomes. So this person that was deemed to be female has these chromosomes of a man. Now, people can make arguments back and forth on whether it's a female or a male, but essentially when it comes down to it, there is no debating chromosomes. That is the core makeup of who you are. It comes down to chromosomes. And if you have those particular chromosomes, like many of you males listening and me right now, it gives you distinct advantages over a female with XX chromosomes. Now, I'm not saying just because you have the XY chromosomes, any guy can be put in a ring with a trained boxer and win. But if you train as a boxer with those chromosomes you happen to have in your back pocket, boom, you can pretty much demolish most any female boxers. Unless it's a fluke and there's some situation where, I'm not saying it can't happen conceivably, but it'd be really, really hard and rare for anyone, unless they got extremely lucky, an XX chromosome person to beat an XY chromosome. Because you're looking at a situation to where there's so much more power behind those punches. There's a thumbnail, I don't know if I use this as a thumbnail, but you can see a certain punch, and you know how certain boxers that go back and forth, and sometimes there's a boxer that just has so much more power than another one. You can see the pain in the face of this female getting hit by this person with XY chromosomes. People will debate this back and forth. Some people might come by this upload and say that I'm just a hateful person, that I have everything wrong, I don't know my technicals, that Imane Khelif is actually a female, but I might have to play the common sense card here. I'm putting that common sense card right on the table. If it looks, walks, and talks like a man and has the chromosomes to back it up, essentially that's a man. Oh, here's another card I'm pulling out. Science. I'm pulling out that science card. So I'm using common sense, I'm using science. And just visuals. Just look. Just take a look, man. Chromosomes, common sense, the looks. That's a man, baby, yeah. That's a man. It is a man. Doesn't matter what's on that birth certificate, it's a man. Because it all comes down to your genetic makeup. No one can debate genetic makeup. All right? So it's a sad, sad moment indeed for the future of women's sports. Who knows what's going to happen going forward? Will we have any women left in our sports? Any legitimate, actual XX chromosomes women? Maybe, possibly, it would be great if they could have a question mark league. A men's league at the Olympics, a women's league, and then just a question mark. A miscellaneous. Maybe you can even put some boxing kangaroos in there also, like the ones in Tekken. just like a free-for-all. It would be kind of fun.